Let him go. That's what it meant. You know, notice verse 5. You must throw this man out and hand him over to Satan. What does that mean? So that his sinful nature will be destroyed and he himself will be saved on the day the Lord returns. Unless that person repents, hand him over to Satan. What does that mean? It's a curse, right? And then he will be destroyed totally. Meaning what? A person who doesn't know how to repent, let him be. Until his life is going to mess up. Destroyed totally. And then he will come back. What is he talking about? The time frame. If a person is used by Satan, they have ears but not to hear anything, spiritual things. Let them be. Even though we just rebuke them and give them advice, they don't have ear to hear. That's why I let them be. But not to come to church. Why? Church is going to be influenced by him or her. That's his warning here. He's talking about yeast, the batch of dough here. Don't you realize that this sin is like a little yeast that spreads through the whole batch of dough? Get rid of the old yeast by removing this wicked person from among you. I baked this bread for communion today. Just leave it for overnight. Dough actually was originally this much size, but in the morning, because of yeast, we allow small sin seep into church or into your life. It's going to destroy you totally. Without knowing yourself. That's the danger part. See, we still have a sinful nature even though we are saved. So until the last day of our lives, we need to constantly fight against three things. What do you think those things are? Huh? Say it again. Women. For singles, okay? When you're single, vice versa. Sexual sins for singles. You need to constantly fight against sexual sins when you're single. When you're married, what kind of things? You have kids. What do you fight for? Child abuse. Money. Okay. But, let's say the last thing. What was it? When your children are all grown up and you're about my age, what should you look? Fame. That's what the 1 John is talking about. Three things. Sinful nature craves those three things. When you're single, you need to fight constantly against yourself for sexual sins. If you committed sexual sin, you don't even know what blessings you're going to just give up. If you want to ask me later, come to me. I'll show all the blessings. So when you're married, you have kids, next thing is money. And then, when you're about my age, fame. Those three things, throughout whole lives, we need to fight against. See, in this church, someone committed sexual immorality. It's a horrible thing. It's not even, it's just, he just specified his here, stepmother. His father's wife. How can you do that? Are you an animal? Paul wanted to say that, but he didn't say. So when we find something in the church that is not right, what is the first step Paul is teaching us? First of all, we should be mourned and grieved. We take that person's sin as such as my own. Because I'm not perfect either. So there's no guarantee for all of us to fall into this kind of trap. That's why we need to pray. Ask for the forgiveness. Strengthen my bodies, protect them, and give them discerning power. In that way, when we intercede for brothers and sisters' sin in the church, God will touch that person's heart to be repented. So if he or she confessed and admitted that he was wrong, then we have won. That's all back. So, as a matter of fact, when you go to 2 Corinthians chapter 2, they came back. They repented. But God said, remove, unless that person doesn't repent. Don't let him or her even closer to you and to the church. Because when we allow them to come in, it's like a yeast of the batch of dough. It influences to the bodies. So we cannot have healthy body in Jesus Christ. So that is what has been going on in this church. So Paul is urging people to pray and to embrace them. So when you read 2 Corinthians chapter 2, you notice that they came back. So that's how we deal person's sin. As we practice within the church, when we go out to the world, we'll do the same thing. Instead of judging and separate us from them, we can embrace them. So wherever you are, at work, on campus, wherever you find someone is doing not the right things. First of all, they're unbelievers. They don't know God. That's why it's so natural for them to do those things. Because there's no fear in their lives. But if that person is a Christian, no. We need to just kneel down and ask God. Because of their faith, according to their faith. Their faith is not matured yet. That's why. They think they can just do it. Because God is love. God